When the book also states that one thing to be careful of is when you are doing translations that sometimes the words do not translate correctly. And so if you're sending notes home or if you have a student that needs translation, then you might be careful doing that. Maybe use an interpreter or someone else that can help you with the translation. And and also while the students are learning English and you're providing them with opportunities to speak and say and read it, that their accent might be a little bit different, and that's okay. And the text talks about that too. And then the religious diversity that goes into after the language, the chapter discusses that starting on page 81. And it goes into not often discussed in relation to education. So we don't talk about religious things in a public school, but it is important that it is going to influence the classroom. So in which celebrated holidays, what foods children can eat, what types of clothing are considered appropriate, what kinds of activities and choices students should be offered in the school day. Also, if they're absent on certain days, to be aware. And when you're talking about or celebrating holidays, that we are able to include. So in my school, we do a winter holiday celebration instead of Christmas, because not everyone celebrates Christmas, and we want to make sure we're all accepting of that. And then if you're offering foods in the classroom, snacks, that there are certain things that you're aware of that students can eat and can't eat. And letting parents know when you're going to be offering things. Now what I do, and this also kind of goes with food allergies in my class, if we allow snack at school, and so if we are going to have an extra treat, sometimes it can be just bring their own snack from home. And then you're not having to worry about what they can and can't eat. And then poverty and other risk factors. One of the most powerful determinants of diversity among children in the United States is family income. And child poverty rates in the U.S. are the highest in the world for industrialized nations. And one great author that talks about this is Ruby Payne. If you ever want to look at any of her books, I'll attach a picture of one of her books that is a great resource to read. And she's a great author that talks about this and helping make the connections as a teacher and educator. And the diverse in the family population, the text goes through about how our families have changed, that maybe we're not, being aware of who your students are living with and who's working with your students, and that it can be a two-parent home, or it might be with a mother, or with just their father, or a step family involved, or maybe they're with their grandparents or guardians. So being aware, and when you're choosing text for your class to read, books for them to read, or discussions that you have, that you can include all of those things in the lessons. Promoting acceptance of a diversity, I think this is huge in a classroom. Being able to culturally responsive teaching, promoting academic success, and promoting acceptance of peers. So these are huge, and having simple things set up in your classroom like morning meetings so that students can get to know each other. Cooperative learning groups, and they're working with a variety. Maybe even having a student of the week where you highlight a student and let them talk about themselves is a great way for people to get to know them. Switching up your text, your read aloud books that you read in class, making sure that they are globally aware, and switching things up. And also be sure to read the things remembered in the end of the text. That can help you kind of keep a pull out and point or what was important in this chapter. In this class, you're required to observe 16 hours of observation, and so I highly recommend looking for ways that the teachers are promoting acceptance and diversity in the classroom. Look around at the students in the class, maybe interview the teacher and see what kind of things she does to or he to promote the connection in the class and promoting acceptance of peers. Also looking at maybe what kind of diversity that they have in the classroom, and even interview the teacher on what kind of books that they read to the students. So keeping things accepted. And I feel like even with this chapter focused a lot on the culturally acceptance of peers, but from all of the first 4 chapters of students with disabilities, being able that in the special education department, promoting acceptance and promoting awareness is very important. So once again, just let me know, hopefully, that these videos are helping explain some different information. If you like what I'm doing with these videos, please let me know. If there's ways that I can change them, let me know. I hope that you're having success with finding a school to start observing in. And don't forget that the discussion board assignment is due before the reflection. So this chapter 4 piece is due before the reflection of chapter 3. Please let me know if you have any questions.